1996, you finally get your first shot at an opportunity in the NBA Finals. Very talented. Well, I thought your roster was probably more talented than the Bulls at that time, the roster makeup. But it was a guy named Michael Jordan, of course, and Scottie Pippen that played. But, they ended up winning the series 4-2. Walk me back through your first experience playing in the finals, in particular against that Chicago Bulls team.
Well, Jimmy, that was an experience, man. We had got tired though, man.
Really?
we had did, I think we had did two game sevens in that playoff run. I think we did Utah and somebody else. I think we beat Houston and beat them. But the series before that game and against Sacramento was pretty tough.
Right.
And then I had hurt myself during that time. I tore my calf muscle. And it wasn't that. But I thought we didn't play to win. We just played to survive. And against that team, we couldn't do that because they had guys at every position that played so very well. But the two that beat us and hurt us the most, to me, were Rodman and Kukoc. I think they are the two players that beat us in that series. I think Jordan did what he was supposed to do, and then when I start guarding, we slowed it down a little bit, and then all of a sudden Pippen got slowed down. But I think the two that killed us was Rodman and Kukoc. Even Luke Longley had a great series, man. He was playing very well too. Get a lot of rebounds, putbacks. They just had a team that was well built, and our team didn't play the way we were supposed to. I didn't think Detlef played the way he usually played. He didn't have a great series, and then all of a sudden, Hershey didn't have a great series, and Sam Perkins. We struggled a little bit, but we got 2 games out of it, but it was just too late, and then they did what they were supposed to do. They beat us in Game 6 in Chicago.
Well, it's funny. I'm glad you brought that up about the two that kind of beat you, because I'm a big Michael Jordan fan as there is. I think he's right behind Kareem as the greatest to ever play the game. But during that series, Mike did struggle because people don't understand everything. The highlights about Mike is going to be all these game-winning shots and the big numbers he put up, which he did. But in this particular series, Mike only shot 41% from the field. He averaged 27 points, but he averaged 31 during the regular season. And he had 3 games, in that series against you where he shot 6 for 19. He was 9 for 22, and he was 5 for 19 in 3 out of those 6 games. So as much of the nostalgia is of the dominance of Mike, he did struggle somewhat shooting the ball a little bit differently in that particular series than he did at any other time during the season or any other finals. Can you attribute that defensively you kind of made him uncomfortable a little bit more than other teams may have done in the past?
Well, yeah, you know that, Jimmy. That's what it was all about. It was about me not stopping him. We can't stop him.
Yeah,
we can slow him down. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to make him uncomfortable, and which I did. I made him uncomfortable. I kept working, and I kept making him, take difficult shots and over shots. He usually make them type of shots, but when you got a lot of guys flying at you and then helping and doing things, it made it very difficult, and it tired him out, though, really, because I kept going at him. I kept hitting him. I kept trying to get fronting. I tried to make it really hard for him. And then on the other end, I chose to go at him a little bit more. And then at that point, that's when, Phil made an adjustment where he switched Scotty, a bigger guy, on me to stop me from posting up and going at him. And then Michael got very upset about that because he wanted to take the challenge, which I knew he would want to. And that's what made the difference. He didn't shoot the ball very well after game 3. He didn't shoot the ball very well. And then all of a sudden, they made adjustments and they started going to Kukoc and Rodman was getting all kind of rebounds. He was frustrating Sean a little bit. Sean had a pretty good series anyway, but he was frustrating. He was getting key rebounds, making good defensive plays. And it was just a difference during that time when they had them too. But we did make Michael struggle a little bit. That's what we're supposed to do to a great basketball player. A player that, know he's going to score. You can't stop him. You just got to try to slow him down. and we made him under his average. And that's all we wanted to do, to have a chance to try to win that series.
You know, and it's interesting, too, because being the defensive player you were, especially playing at the point guard position, you would guard two guards, whether that was Reggie, it was Mitch Richmond, it could have been Clyde Drexler, all the really good players, Clyde Drexler at the 2. And I tell people this all the time. Guys like that, you're not going to stop them because their usage rate is too high. They're going to get the ball, but can you make them, what you're saying, can I make them less efficient? And I think when you had this conversation before, G, people took it as you saying, well, if George Karl puts me on him sooner, I stop Mike. That ain't what you're saying. You're saying I can make it a little bit more tougher on him to go get his money. And that's what I wanted to clear up right there.
And that's true, Jimmy. And thanks for doing that, because people don't understand. A lot of people look at it in a certain way, and some people look at it a different way. I told everybody, it's no way you can stop a great basketball player or score because he gets the basketball too much and quantities of shots. And when the guy can score the basketball the way he can score, you aren't going to stop him. What I was saying is I was making it difficult and making it different for him, not comfortable. Because when you let a guy be comfortable, yes, they're going to get in a rhythm. If I get him out of the game and make him do different stuff than what he's not used to doing, then that'll give me the advantage to try to stop him and take difficult shots and take shots that he didn't want to really do, and rush shots. And that's what happened. He started rushing it. He started trying to take the challenge on. That referees wasn't giving him the calls. We just let me and him play basketball. And that's what I wanted to happen. I just wanted to be difficult and different. And that's what happened after game 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's what I made happen. I made him take difficult shots. And then other people started to step up, and they just did what they had to do. By that time, we were down 3-0.
Right.
It was too hard for us to come back to win 4 straight in a row against a team that just set a record at 72-10 and played very well. People don't understand. We won 64, 65 games that year. And we beat them in the regular season.
Right.
Jimmy, we beat them in the regular season. They lost to us one of them 10 times. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of them times where people just don't understand the basketball. You don't stop people. You make them uncomfortable and make them do things that they ain't supposed to do.
Check out new episodes of The Jim Jackson Show every Thursday. Watch on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Follow the show on Instagram at Jim Jackson Show, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.